Paris Jackson is living proof that being the child of a megastar is not always easy. However, she is a survivor, and she is learning to come to terms with her history while simultaneously establishing a fresh and exciting future that is uniquely hers. When Michael Jackson was 50 years old, he passed away at his home in Los Angeles in the year 2009. Paris was utterly heartbroken because she had a very close relationship with her father. During the memorial service for him, she took the initiative to offer a message that was really moving. To express my affection for you, I would want to say that Daddy has been the most wonderful parent you could ever hope to have. The pain of losing her father has not diminished even after many years have passed. It is a common belief that time cures, but in reality it does not. She revealed this in an interview with Rolling Stone in September of 2017. Eventually, you will become accustomed to it. Every day, I go about my life with the mindset that, okay, I've lost the one and only thing that has ever been significant to me. Because of this, anything horrible that occurs in the future can't possibly be even close to being as bad as what occurred in the past. Throughout her life, Paris' relationship with her mother, Debbie Rowe, has been fraught with difficulties. The explanation that she provided to Rolling Stone was that when I was a very, very little child, my mother did not exist. The year 1996 marked the year that Michael wed Rowe, a nurse, and the couple went on to have two children together, Prince and Paris. Rowe gave up her parental rights in exchange for a substantial amount of money and a nearly seven-figure annual stipend when the marriage split when Paris was only 2 years old. In an interview, Rowe provided an explanation for her choice by stating, "As a consequence, Paris did not know her mother throughout her childhood. However, when she was 15 years old, she became curious, looked up Rowe online, and reached out to her. Getting to know her, discovering how similar we are, and getting to know her better are all nice things to do, into the genre of music that she enjoys listening to. Simply having her as a friend is a great experience." A diagnosis of breast cancer was made for Rowe in 2017, and Paris remained by her side for the entirety of her chemotherapy treatment. She went so far as to post a message of support on Instagram, stating, after Michael's passing, Paris and her brothers moved in with their grandmother, Katherine Jackson. Over the course of an episode of Unfiltered that aired in the year 2020, Paris Jackson and Gabrielle Glenn explored the striking differences between her life with her father and her life with her grandma. Each of the three Jackson children adhered to a stringent diet when they were under her father's care. Previously, for instance, they were not permitted to consume white sugar or white carbohydrates. Now, once their grandmother was granted custody of them, they were suddenly permitted to consume whatever they desired. There were no rules, and I was always drinking soda and eating cake. As a result, I put on a lot of weight, and I developed an addiction to taking in food. My excuses made me gain weight, and I thought to myself, just in case I can't do that anymore, and that's the case. The way I felt, it is very challenging. Things have gotten better for Jackson over the course of time. According to Rolling Stone, she attributes her healing and eventual acceptance of her appearance to the fact that modeling helped her. Many people have the opinion that I am ugly, while others do not share this opinion. Although I have challenges with my self-esteem, there are times when I am modeling that I forget about those issues and instead concentrate on what the photographer is teaching me. Moreover, I am in a good mood, and in that regard, it is self-centered. In addition, Paris attributes her survival to the fact that music has provided her with a space in which she may work through the pain she has experienced. According to what she said with the Evening Standard in the year 2021, she is currently at a place in her life when she is experiencing self-love for the very first time. Without a doubt, the self-expression is a significant component of it. Cara Delevingne, a model and gay celebrity, was Paris's ex-girlfriend, and Paris has been vocal about her membership in the LGBTQ community from the beginning. However, initially she had a difficult time accepting her gay identity to the fullest extent. After all, Catherine, her grandmother, is a Jehovah's Witness who is quite devoted to the religion. My family is quite devout, and a lot of things, like homosexuality, are considered to be very taboo, therefore they don't like to talk about it, Paris stated. It is not truly allowed to be done. After that, there was the problem of a lack of representation in the media, which made things even more perplexing for her. Mostly due to the fact that the only thing I had ever seen on television was men and women together, and as a result, these concepts did not really make sense to me. Despite the fact that Paris and the rest of the Jackson family have questionable ideas, Catherine, who is now in her mid-90s, continues to maintain a strong relationship with Paris, despite the fact that she acknowledges that it is not always easy. During an interview with People in 2021, she was quoted as saying, "I've reached a point where I respect them, and I have love for them. Their beliefs are respected by me. Their faith is something I appreciate. I have reached a point where I might reasonably expect them to put aside their culture and their religion, because it is none of my business what other people believe about me. I believe that it will always be a part of who I am and of my music, which is influenced by my life and the things that I've been through," Paris said in an interview with Numero. Paris is upfront about the fact that she struggles with mental health difficulties on a regular basis. "The thought of not discussing it is inconceivable to me." In 2013, when she was 15 years old, Paris made an attempt on her own life, and it would not be her last one. Over the course of the years that have passed, she has covered her wounds with a variety of tattoos. She revealed her thoughts to Rolling Stone, saying, "It was just self-hatred, low self-esteem, thinking that I couldn't do anything right, and not thinking that I was worthy of living anymore." Paris attended a behavior modification boarding school for 2 years when she was a teenager. She has stated that the experience was detrimental to her development rather than beneficial. In addition, she was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder as a result of the event that she had experienced. In an interview with Today, she stated that the other ladies who attended the same boarding school as me, and with whom I am still friends to this day, all share the same symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD), including nightmares and trust concerns. A child is being abused here. The release of the documentary Leaving Neverland, which details Michael Jackson's alleged serial abuse of young boys, allegedly sparked a mental health crisis that led to Paris being hospitalized in 2019. TMZ stated that the crisis was triggered by the release of the documentary. On the other hand, Paris insisted that she had not tried suicide on that particular occasion. It was 2 years later when she appeared on Red Table Talk to talk about her issues with suicidal ideation. She said, "I can say like several years later that like I'm really grateful that it didn't work. Things have improved in recent times. In the beginning, Paris suffered with addiction when she was a teenager." In an interview with Rolling Stone, she disclosed that in the years that followed Michael's passing, she went into a downward spiral and started associating with a much older set. She stated, "I was doing a lot of things that 13, 14, and 15-year-olds shouldn't do. I made an effort to mature too quickly and to be told I wasn't really that lovely of a person." Jackson stated that the policies of the facility ultimately made her substance usage worse, despite the fact that she had attended a behavior rehabilitation program for her troubles. During an interview with LVR magazine, she voiced her disapproval of the lack of screening that occurs at institutions like this, where the specific requirements and issues of the pupils are actually disregarded. Without doing a thorough evaluation of the patient, psychiatrists are known to distribute addictive medications like candy. The act of vetting does not hurt anyone. Reportedly, she signed up for treatment at a rehabilitation center in 2019 for substance misuse. At the time of her departure, she was observed carrying a Narcotics Anonymous chip that commemorated 30 days of abstinence from the drug. Radar was informed of the news by an unidentified insider who stated, "Everyone is thrilled and so proud of her for getting sober, because that is all that Michael would have wanted. She has accomplished everything that he would have wanted." As a result of the proliferation of social media, Paris discovered that her late father's followers were engaging in cyberbullying to her. She stated to Rolling Stone that there was a point in time when the bullying became so severe that it compelled her to make an attempt on her own life. "I don't blame Justin Bieber for deleting his Instagram account," she wrote to X. She wasn't surprised by his decision. "Every day I am subjected to the kind of harassment that is enough to drive someone to consider ending their own life." Additionally, Paris has been the target of death threats from supporters of her father. In the year 2023, as an example, she was advised to take her own life when she forgot to post a birthday tribute to her late father on social media. The reason she did not post about her father was to show respect for him, as she said in a video that she posted on Instagram. Her sentiments were made very obvious in the caption, which said, "Please do not use a man you have never met as an excuse to abuse, manipulate, and harass his daughter, who you also have never met." Michael tried all in his power to shield his children from the glare of the spotlight, including frequently requiring them to wear masks in public. However, despite his best efforts, it was not feasible to shelter them from the spotlight. His children were persistently trailed by the paparazzi from the moment they were born until they were adopted. Following Michael's passing, this continued to occur. During the year 2017, Paris was being pursued by paparazzi as she was at Los Angeles International Airport. She was harassed by them on the death of her father, and they asked her if she believed that he had been murdered. In a state of overwhelming anxiety, she hid her face and pleaded with the photographers to refrain from flashing their cameras in her direction. This is the first time that Paris has been subjected to paparazzi attention of this level, according to a source who later explained the situation to Entertainment Tonight. She was trembling with fear. During her appearance on Red Table Talk, she said that she had been experiencing paranoia and anxiety as a consequence of the persistent harassment she received from paparazzi. Audio hallucinations, sometimes consisting of camera clicks and violent rumblings, that I encounter. There is paranoia. In addition to that, I have been attending therapy for a variety of reasons, including that. Additionally, she is afflicted with post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD), which has an impact on every facet of her life. Paris attributes her ability to manage her anxiety to the EMDR therapy she has received. "When I hear something that sounds like a trash bag rustling, I tend to startle." Paris responded to the question posed by Glamour about the things that are most important to her in life by saying, "Privacy, having things in my life that are private and not all public knowledge pertaining to them." Noah and Sophia, two of Paris Jackson's closest friends, passed away in what seemed to be a short period of time in the year 2020. Through her Instagram account, she paid respect to each of them. In addition to a snapshot of her and Noah laughing together, Paris wrote, "I'm sorry that life was so difficult for you, and that the world turned out to be so cruel. You deserved nothing but love, happiness, and light in your life. The realization that you are no longer in discomfort and are now surrounded by those things provides me a sense of tranquility. Little brother, may you rest in peace during this time of transition. You are sure to be remembered forever." Following that, she recalled Sophia's letter, which stated, "One is already too much. This is something I despise." The lyrics of Jackson's song Undone include the phrase, "If you could just put down the needle, mend yourself, and make believe. Although Jackson did not detail the manner in which Noah and Sophia passed away, she did make a passing reference to the fact that she had lost two of her friends to addiction. In 2021, she gave an interview to the Evening Standard in which she described the purpose of the song. She stated, "That song was written about a couple of friends of mine who are no longer with us, and who I miss very much. If they were here, I would tell them something similar to what I just said. It is impossible for me to stop thinking about them, and I am still aware of their affection for me. At the time that I was writing these songs, I really broke down all of my barriers and revealed my heart in its entirety."